lamp still glows where her shadow stayed. The sheets remember every vow we made. The air still hums her name in smoke. Each breath I take feels half broke. The room's too small for the truth I hide. The clock ticks slow, takes love's side. In the night, she knows the bed don't lie. I kept her voice in a drawer of dreams, between the laughter and the scream. Her touch still burns on my left hand, a ghost that time don't understand. The whiskey whispers let her go, but I drink slow, I already know. She left the room but stayed inside, 'cause the bed don't lie. Her hair still caught on the cotton thread. Her scent still sleeps when my heart once bled. Every morning feels like crime. The sunlight hurts, it steals my time. The coffee's cold, the cup still waits, like the heart that love negates. The truth sits here unamplified. The bed don't lie. Ain't no preacher need to tell my sin. A ghost still crawls beneath my skin. I built these walls but they still speak, whispering her name each lonely week. No hymn can drown the way she sighed, no cross can wash the tears I hide. And when the dark begins to slide, the bed don't lie. So pour one for the man who let her stay inside his bones. Oh, she walked away, laugh slow, the gentle kind, but the bed don't lie behind his mind. It hums a song in sheets of white, cold where love once burned so bright. I ain't searching peace tonight, 'cause the bed don't lie. I sleep on one half, the other's hers, like two worlds split by whispered words. Her pillow sinks like memories wait, still warm with everything I hate. The window hums her tune again. I breathe her in and curse her name. No truth left here to justify, 'cause the bed don't lie. I found her note beneath the frame. It didn't say much, just signed her name. No love, you know I'll be fine. Just silence carved between the lines. The ink was dry, the words were true. She said, you'll know what I can't tell you. Now every night I ask her why, but the bed don't lie. The man in the mirror looks back slow, says you reap the seeds you let her sow. He's tired, calm, just like me, living in the space where ghosts still breathe. He don't judge, he just recalls every promise scratched on these walls. And he says low like a lullaby, the bed don't lie. I used to voice comes soft through thunder's hum. Love ain't dead, it's just gone numb. Each tear I hide feels justified. Each silence sounds like her goodbye. No preacher left to sanctify. Cause the bed don't lie. Pour one for the man who can't move on, who sleeps alone but dreams she's gone. He hums her name to the ceiling side. Yeah, the bed don't lie. Raise your glass to the ghost of touch, the love that burns a bit too much. No redemption, no alibi. The bed don't lie. The night hums low, the blues stay long. The sheets remember her final song. I reach for her shadow, it slips through. Just like every prayer I try to do. Each note I play, the silence replies. Each chord confesses, each echo cries. And in the hush I testify. 'Cause the bed don't lie. I ain't holy, I ain't free, but her ghost still keeps time with me. If heaven's soft, she ain't that kind. She lives in the corners of my mind. I see a smile where the curtains fall, a sin so sweet it forgives it all. And though the night pretends to die, the bed don't lie. Ain't no choir to sing our tune, just a hum of lost beneath the moon. The sheets breathe out a soft reply. The bed don't lie. No mercy here, no warm disguise, just the truth that memory buys. I fade, I fold, I testify. The bed don't. Low lights, low words, long shadow on the wall. Whiskey swims slow in the glass like a moon who won't fall. Door creaks once, then silence takes the room. Power walks in quiet shoes and rearranges doom. I nod at the band, let the snare breathe deep. Let the bass count money while the city falls asleep. I don't beg the night for favor, I already own the town. You can hear it in the hush, the smoke holds the crown. Silk-tied gunmetal cufflinks, ash on the sleeve. Cards on the table and a trick up the weave. Deal stitched in whispers, sewn under the den. Every promise like a razor tucked under the skin. They talk fast, I talk less. Silence does the work while the others confess. Neon bleeds red through the blind's thin veins. Outside rain writes my many son names. I keep the ledger like a rosary of sins. Flicker the zipper where forgiveness begins. Slow guitar bends like a threat you don't see. And the room leans forward to breathe with me. I don't gamble what I can take by grace. A smile is a lockpick on an iron face. They bargain with fear, I bargain with time. The clock is a witness that belongs to my mind. I carve my initials in the hours last born. When the saxophone weeps, I'm already home. Cold hands, warm heart, all debts come due. Every oath is a blade, watch how it moves. If you can't hold steady when the city goes dark, you'll never learn to light a fire with a spark. I don't raise my voice to make thunder sound. I let the hush shake walls from the underground. In a room full of kings, I straighten my gown, and every crown remembers who taught it to bow. I don't chase a throne, I just sit one down. The room signs the papers when I look around. No saint, no sinner, just a promise I found. Power speaks in smoke, and the smoke holds the crown. out. Swallowed by the river, they wanted the drought. Heard prayers get pawned for a bottle and a lie. Watched angels fold wings when the price got high. But me, I learned patience from a trigger that never had to pull. A lesson in restraint from a cup never full. The devil rents rooms on the 7th floor. I sell them quiet and I lock the door. There's a woman with eyes like a witness stand. She reads my past like a smudge on her hand. Says, baby, what breaks you makes the band. I kiss her pulse and I let time land. Street lights blink like a Morse code plea, but mercy's a ledger with a limited C. I don't forgive quick, I forgive once. Write it in ink where the paper won't flinch. If loyalty's a chain, I'm the link they trust. If betrayal's a wind, I'm the weight in the dust. Cold hands, warm heart, keep you breathing slow. Make the room come closer while you barely move. If you can't make silence, do what you choose. You'll never teach thunder how to sing the blues. I don't raise my voice to make thunder sound. I let the hush shake walls from the underground. In a room full of kings, I straighten my gown, and every crown remembers who taught it to bow. I don't chase a throne, I just sit one down. The room signs the papers when I look around. No saint, no sinner, just a promise I found. Power speaks in smoke, and the smoke holds a crown. Pocket, ghosts in a hall. Names etched faint on the ledger's crawl. I own what I carry and I carry very light. Just a blade made of patience and a map of the night. Man with loud hands crave a riot's cheer. I buy the silence and I seldom fear. My enemies write letters with invisible ink. By morning they discover what I made them think. I never run, roads run to me. I never beg, doors beg to be free. The piano tells the truth in a minor prayer, while the trumpet signs a treaty with the air. I'm not looking for heaven in a sinner's town. I'm building cathedrals where the lights go down. I tie to the moment, not to the crowd. And the angels, if they listen, keep their heads bowed. Cold hands, warm heart, count to 4. Let the bass be a judge and the snare be the law. If the night is a jury and the dawn is a door, you leave with the verdict that you came here for. I don't raise my voice to make thunder sound. I let the hush shake walls from the underground. In a room full of kings, I straighten my gown, and every crown remembers who taught it to bow. I don't chase a throne, I just sit one down. The room signs the papers when I look around. No saint, no sinner, just a promise I found. Power speaks in smoke, and the smoke holds the crown. Shut, city exhale, slow rain rubs the neon till the letters glow. I leave a tip for the night on a silver tray. Spend it on silence, I hear myself say. Band fades out, last note settles down. Somewhere on my knees and kisses a dawn. The smoke curls soft like thoughts unsaid around the things I never meant. The whiskey sways where silence grew between her heart and what I knew. The night hums low, my conscience sways, counting the words I let decay. In the dark she sighs, she knows instead of all the words I never said. I watch her leave with her suitcase small. No tear, no fight, no final call. Her eyes said more than I ever could, and I just froze, I never should. Her hand brushed mine, her smile was kind, but the truth stayed locked inside my mind. Now every dream repeats that thread, those words I never said. The wall still hum, her favorite tune. It plays slow under the bleeding moon. Her shoes still rest by the broken chair, like she might come back, still live there. I speak to ghosts who never reply. The silence louder than goodbye. The echoes speak what I misread, the words I never said. Ain't no preacher who'll forgive this kind, the sin of silence, the caged mind. You can cry loud, you can pray low, but truth don't bloom and what you don't show. The heart will ache, the tongue will stall, and pride will build your final wall. By the time you look, the love is dead, killed by words you never said. So pour one for the man who spoke too late, who watched his heaven dissipate. He laughed soft but inside's lit with all the words he never said. They hum through night, they burn in bed, they haunt the air inside his head. He ain't seeking peace, just thread through the words he never said. I write her name in cigarette smoke, each line I wish, each breath a choke. I play a song on a rusted string, the sound of loss and everything. The radio hums the way she'd hum, soft and low before she'd come. Now even silence feels like lead, with the words I never said. I saw her once by the station light, her hair still gold, her eyes still bright. She didn't speak, but her look was plain. Some love don't die, it just remains. I opened my mouth, but time stood still. The courage froze, the heart stood still. I let her go, my soul misled by the words I never said. The man in the mirror don't speak at all, he just stares back proud and small. He says, boy, your tongue's your sin, you built a cage and live within. I nod slow, I know he's right. Silence owns me every night, and the blues play soft where angels fled from the words I never said. Some nights I swear I hear her hum the same tune where our love begun. She whispers slow, you waited too long. Now I'm the lyric, but you're the song. Her voice don't fade, it bends like time, turns guilt to verse, regret to rhyme. The stars burn low in my stead for the words I never said. Pour one for the man who can't move on, who speaks through tears till the dawn. He hums her name in shades of red, yeah, the words he never said. Raise that glass to the silent kind who left their truth too far behind. No grace, no flame, just clear, and the words they never said. The man in the mirror don't speak at all, he just stares back, proud and small. He says, boy, your tongue's your sin, you built a cage and live within. I nod slow, I know he's right. Silence owns me every night, and the blues play soft where angels fled from the words I never said. Some nights I swear I hear her hum the same tune where our love begun. She whispers slow, you waited too long. Now I'm the lyric, but you're the song. Her voice don't fade, it bends like time, turns guilt to verse, regret to rhyme. The stars burn low in my stead for the words I never said. Who speaks through tears till the dawn. He hums our name in shades of red. Yeah, the words he never said. Raise that glass to the silent kind who left their truth too far behind. No grace, no flame, just dread in the words he never said. So pour one for the hearts undone that lose their truth and call it done. For every soul that walked instead of saying what they should have said. No crown, no flame, no thread, just silence keeping the dead fed. And when I fade, remember read the words I never said. I seen love die with lips still sealed, a war of hearts where none were healed. I seen two kind under pride's flood, a moon confessing devil and blind. Night forgives, but I don't forget the thighs will lead a grad down. So I hold her hands till I'm dead. Those words I never said.
The bass hums low beneath her name, the kind of heat you can't contain. Her perfume burns through cigarettes and with silk, and she's aware. The lights go soft, the air turns thin. She moves and the world gives in. The night she breathes, she pulls me in, whispering velvet sin. Her hands talk slow, they never plead. They draw the lines I swore I'd free. Her lips taste like a final prayer, half redemption, half despair. Each breath she steals feels like reward, each silence sharper than a sword. The blues hum low beneath her skin. I'm trapped in velvet sin. She don't speak, she just commands, a quiet queen with trembling hands. The candle melts, the bass drops slow. Every beat says what we both know. I ain't holy, but I play pretend. Her eyes don't judge, they just transcend. Every move she makes drags me in, deeper into velvet sin. No preacher saves the lustful kind, no law restrains the storm in mine. The night forgives what dawn exposes, in heat the devil wears roses. I feel her pulse beneath the skin. The light is gone, I cave within, and in that sound, that trembling grin, I drown in velvet sin. So pour one for the fools like me, who chase what they ain't meant to see. She hums my name through bass and gin. Yeah, that's velvet sin. It moves like smoke, it breathes blaze like flame. Every side repeats a name. I ain't fighting, I give in to that velvet sin. The sheets don't lie, they memorize the rhythm born in whispered sighs. A shadow dances across the wall, a hymn of lust, the night's last call. Each note I play, she turns to hate. Each pause a promise I can't fake. And though I burn, I grin within, lost inside her velvet sin. She said you're calm, but you still crave peace. Don't feel what chaos gave. I laughed slow, said you're not wrong, then kissed the truth we'd built so long. The baseline throbbed, the air grew tight. Our sins turn gold beneath that light. If heaven calls, I won't begin. I'm staying in velvet sin. The man in the mirror looks amused. He knows the rules, I just refused. He says you traded grace for skin. I said yeah, but I'd trade again. No guilt, no plea, no disguise, just truth behind these tired eyes. And in the smoke she breathes again, that velvet sin. The bass still moves beneath the shame. The groove don't end, it hums her name. I try to fight, but lust's too kind. It holds my throat, rewrites my mind. A kiss tastes like another life. With guilt's a lover, not a knife. I know I'm lost, but I don't resent this velvet sin. Pour one for the man who burned too slow, who found his peace where sinners go. He hums low and smoking gin. Yeah, that's velvet sin. Raise your glass to the hearts that fall, to those who feel through it all. No heaven waits, no discipline, just velvet sin. The moon on the morning breeze amused. He knows the rules, I just refused. He says you traded grace for skin. I said yeah, but I'd trade again. No guilt, no plea, no disguise, just truth behind these tired eyes. And in the smoke she breathes again, that velvet sin. The bass still moves beneath the shame. The groove don't end, it hums her name. I try to fight, but love's too kind. It holds my throat, rewrites my mind. Her kiss tastes like another life. Where guilt's a lover, not a knife. I know I'm lost, but I don't resent this velvet sin. Pour one for the man who burned too slow, who found his peace where sinners go. He hums low and smoking gin. Yeah, that's velvet sin. Raise your glass to the hearts that fall, to those who feel through it all. No heaven waits, no discipline, just velvet sin. Drums lean soft, the floorboards moan. The sound feels sacred, flesh and bone. Each thump's a pulse, each note's a flame. Each whisper knows the body's name. She laughs, I fade, the lights grow dim. The place forgives what prayers condemn. And in that sound, that cardinal hymn, we worship velvet sin.
I ain't holy, I ain't right, but I'm alive an endless night. She don't promise, she don't stay, she just breathes my Horizon irons a night to thin, rail tracks hum like a violin, boots all scuff a modest claim, wind spells out my middle name. No one beside me, no one to blame, just me and the distance I became. Left a city built on louder proof, traded brass ceilings for an open roof, turned down parades that forget the street, chose smaller bread that the humble eat. I learned to measure what I let go, to walk like water where fires won't grow. Some call it loss, I call it aim, a tighter circle with a calmer flame. Photographs fade to the color of wheat, stories turn quiet with truth and me. I'm lighter now in a heavier frame, the weight I lost was the need for fame. Count to 4 with a steady lung, let the past be past and the young stay young. If memory knocks with a stadium's name, answer with footsteps you're willing to claim. This is the distance I became, not running away, not hiding shame. I let the noise unlearn my name. I kept the work, I kept the same. The farther I walked from what I attained, the closer I came to the man I became. I used to bargain with thunder's dead, spend tomorrows I hadn't met. Now I buy minutes with breath and bone, pay in quiet where haste had grown. There's a diner that remembers my nod, a prayer in the cup, a wink from God. The waitress writes take care on the slip. I folded like a sailor a ship, let current keep it lit tight. Explain how distance smooths the crowded brain. I'm still the one who loved the fight, I just choose battles that honor the night. Breathe on full, let the snare brush slow, let the slide guitar fade like snow. If pride wants echoes and rented acclaim, point it to gravel that knows your name. This is the distance I became, not running away, not hiding shame. I let the noise unlearn my name. I kept the work, I kept the same. The farther I walked from what I attained, the closer I came to the man I became. There's a bridge I cross where the river forgives, where losses convert to a life that lives. I drop old coins through the iron grate, watch circles widen and loosen fate. The water doesn't owe me speech, it holds my face just out of reach, enough to know, not to control. A mirror for a working soul. I don't rehearse the lines I cut, I leave the door a little shut. What wants to leave, I let it pass. What needs to stay, I set like glass. Hold that fort till the ribs feel sure. Let strings breathe in like a patient cure. If yesterday begs with a billboard flame, dim it to moonlight, keep your aim. This is the distance I became, not running away, not hiding shame. I let the noise unlearn my name. I kept the word, I kept the same. The farther I walk from what I attain, the closer I came to the man I became. Bring me the doors I slam for proof, I'll hinge them soft under quieter roof. Bring me the miles I sprinted thin, I'll walk them back with a thicker skin. Bring me the names I spoke too loud, I'll say them small without the crowd. Let the piano place 2 notes and wait, let bass keep time with a slower fade. If distance is mercy in a faithful frame, let love be the word that remembers my name. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. I pass a field with a scarecrow's bow, a rusted choir that knows me now. They don't applaud and they don't accuse, they hold a posture I choose to use. A child on a fence line kicks his heels, his mother counts change for evening meals. I hold the door when they reach the store, no lesson given, just room for more. The smallest gestures I used to spend return like coins from a truer friend. I'm rich in a currency most won't claim, the quiet returns of a decent name. Count on 4, let the breath grow wise, let the truth be truth without disguise. If glory taps with a neon frame, offer a chair, decline the game. This is the distance I became, not running away, not hiding shame. I let the noise unlearn my name. I kept the word, I kept the same. The farther I walk from what I attain, closer I came to the man I became. Breathe on 4, let the echoes fade, let night be kind to what we made. If memory wants one final frame, give it the road and let it remain. This is the distance I became, not running away, not hiding shame. I let the noise unlearn my name. I kept the work, I kept the same. The farther I walk from what I attain, the closer I came to a steadier flame. Write it in rain, in dust and grain, I am the road in the distance I became.
The whiskey burns, but it don't clean. I've outlived enemies, outlasted friends. The mirror grins with a borrowed face, a ghost of pride, a hollow grave. The smoke don't rise, it just abides between my truth and what hides inside. In the night she smirked, she seen my vice, the man I buried twice. I buried him young with charm and fire. Thought ambition could take me high. I wore his name like a velvet lie. Smiled to strangers, let the real one die. The crowd applauded, the world agreed, but all they saw was my disease. And though I breathed, I cut his ties. The man I buried twice. He came back slow through empty rooms and whispered smoke and unpaid tunes. I heard him hum through my guitar, a voice too close, a wound too far. He said you built the dream but lost the soul. You played the part but paid the toll. I poured a drink, looked in his eyes at the man I buried twice. No preacher saved what I became, just echoes whispering my name. You can trade your youth for gold and fame, but you can't cheat loss, it's the same old game. The blues don't heal, it just implies that truth's a debt the soul supplies. And when I pray, I hear his sighs. The man I buried twice. So pour one for the man beneath the skin, the one I killed to let me win. He laughs low, a haunting vice. Yeah, the man I buried twice. He hums my songs in shadow rhyme, keeps my guilt in perfect time. I ain't seeking peace or paradise, just a man I buried twice. The glass don't lie, it cracks instead. Every line's a thing I said. Each wrinkle hums a quiet sin of who I was and could have been. I tried to run, I tried to hide, but he walks with me side by side, and every silence redefined the man I buried twice. I tell the night my secret crime, that I stole my truth to buy some time. I traded love for a louder cheer, and all that's left is the man right here. He don't blame, he just observes the hollow life my pride deserves. And though I breathe, I pay the price to the man I buried twice. The man in the mirror grins in gray, says you're still me, you just decay. He don't shout, he don't curse my name. He says we're both just built from blame. He lights a smoke, says let's be clear, you're still the reason I'm still here. And as the blues repeats its advice, he smiles, the man I buried twice. He said I watched you drown in golden fame, watched you chase pride, forget your name. I tried to warn, but you wouldn't hear. Now you're the ghost that I revere. I asked him, low, can I return? He said no flame proclaims its burn. I closed my eyes, rolled my dice with a man I buried twice. Pour one for the man who lost his soul, who paid his dues but not his toll. He still hums low through fire and ice. Yeah, the man I buried twice. Raise your glass to the ones who fall, to the proud who build their own downfall. No redemption, just advice from the man I buried twice. Curls high, the truth unfolds. The blues don't age, it just grows old. Each note I bend bleeds something true of who I was, of who I knew. The room falls still, the air precise. It echoes the man I buried twice. And in that hush, no faith, no lies, just the man I buried twice. I ain't holy, I ain't right.
The room forgets to breathe a while. The bays walk slow in measured style. The lights hang low like patient eyes. A straightened truth removes disguise. A match goes out but leaves its heat. The snare taps vows beneath my feet. In the night she nods without defiance. She knows a king built out of silence. I laid my bricks on quiet ground, where thunder fades and nerves unbound. No shouting crown, no borrowed praise, just steady hands to weaker days. I learned to make the chaos stop, to build a roof that will not fall. When storms arrive with cheap reliance, I answer with a house of silence. I took the road that bends through rain, let patience clean the bitter stain. I spent my pride in smaller coins and fixed my spine in broken joints. The mirror bowed, the rage withdrew, and in its place the iron grew. I learned to tune the world's appliance by holding time in quiet science. Ain't no preacher teach this art. You learn it losing half your heart. You let the hunger slow it spin. You lock the door and breathe within. Shape the flame, you choose its height. You keep it fed but out of sight. And when the noise demands compliance, you answer with your built-in silence. So pour one for the men who never boast, who save their words for when they're most. He laughs slow, unmoved by violence. He wears his power built from silence. It hums like oak, it shines like stone, a sovereign calm that stands alone. I ain't begging fate for guidance. I move the night with forged out silence. red nose when storms walk in. She sees the swagger, hears the din. She sets my glass, the room takes note. A hush slides under every throat. The organ breathes a velvet chord. The kick keeps time with no reward. A single nod, a small compliance. The whole place turns on quiet science. I keep my laws in leather bound. No gilded edges, plain and sound. Hold back your heat, conserve your fire. Let once be tested by desire. Speak once, speak true, then let it stand. Correct your course with open hand, and never trade your soul for pens. You're worth the price of your own silence. The man in the mirror taps the frame, says, boy, you finally learned your name. It ain't the roar that gets it done, it's staying still, the battle's won. No blade to wave, no stage defense, just presence, weight, and consequence. He points and smiles a mild alliance. Your crown is carved from patience, silence. A murmur climbs from jealous chest, a petty tide that swells and crests. They bait the spark, they prime the fuse. They hope I'll light what they can't use. I raise my hand an inch or two. The wave forgets what it should do. The snare resumes, the bass finds guidance, obedient to measured silence. Pour one for the man who reads the sign, who slows the storm with steady lines. He hums low, declines the violence. He bends the dog with built-in silence. Raise your glass to iron grace, to eyes that calm a crowded place. No throne, no roar, no license, just sovereign heat and crafty silence. Becomes a beam, a pillar set in midnight scene. The room suspends its restless weight. The breath of doubt learns how to wait. The groove lays bricks to Moon's long and crooked wide. My breath smelled like smoke and tide. Another night with nothing to prove, just the echo of the man I used to move. The whiskey speak where words can't live, a quiet sermon no priest could give. In the dark, she nods, she always forgives. I live in town that forgot my face, chasing ghosts I could never replace. Dreams turn cold in the neon rain. Every step I took just spelled my name. She said, baby, love's a game of death, and I'm still paying what I can't forget. I light a match just to watch it fade, 'cause whiskey don't forget mistakes I've made. The jukebox hums that same old lie, promises burning while the years go by. A stranger nod says, I know that pain. We toast the past and lose again. A shadow moves where her perfume stayed. It's been 10 years but it smells the same. Every night I try to reset, but whiskey don't forget. No preacher waits, no choir sings, just bottles lined like wedding rings. You can pray or curse the flame, but it'll still spell out her name. Sin comes cheap, truth comes late. Heaven's locked, I missed that gate. And every sip's a cold duet, 'cause whiskey don't forget. So pour one for the man who lost his fight, still singing low through another night. He laughs soft at what he regrets. Yeah, whiskey don't forget. It hums my sorrow in a golden tone, cuts through bone straight to the soul. I ain't begging peace, just a reset, but a whiskey don't forget. Photos torn, but her smile still stings like a chord that never stops to ring. I left her name carved on a ballroom door. She left her heart on my bedroom floor. The past don't sleep, it just waits in line with an open seat and a glass of wine. I try to heal, but the blues still bet that whiskey won't forget. The road hums low, the ties confess. Every mile a wound I don't address. I've chased forgiveness down dead-end streets, but mercy don't speak to men like me. I see her face in motel glass, reflected pain that just won't pass. I smile faintly, try to reset, but whiskey don't forget. The man in the mirror grins too wide. He's tired of watching me run and hide. He says, boy, the truth is a debt unpaid, and whiskey's a price that never fades. The blues ain't cruel, it's just fair. It gives you pain, 'cause nothing else cares. You lose your soul, your last roulette. Still, whiskey don't forget. I used to play loud for a crowded room. Now I hum slow in the shadows tune. She said I drowned in my own regret. Now I float on a sea I can't forget. The night don't judge, it just takes its due. Each drop a story I swore was true. The flame still burns my silhouette, and whiskey don't forget.
Pour one for the ones who tried to love too hard and still got denied. For the ghosts that dance when the lights reset. Yeah, whiskey, don't forget. Raise that glass to the center song, where right feels right and wrong feels strong. No crown, no pardon, no vignette, 'cause whiskey, don't forget. Peace for a steady flame. Sign the night beneath my name. The bar's near empty, but the sound still sways. A broken prayer to better days. Each note bleeds, each silence waits. She's gone, but a ghost still plays. And in that hush of cold regret, whiskey won't forget. But I still keep time in minor key. If hell had a stage, I'd play it blue, 'cause the devil drinks the same as you. My song's a scar I can't outplay. It follows me night and day. I drink to dreams not finished yet, 'cause whiskey, don't forget. No choir hums, no dawn redeems, just a low hum of forgotten dreams. The truth don't fade, it just resets. Whiskey, don't forget. It's mercy's twin with a bitter face, a cold hand, a warm embrace. I fade, I fall, I owe they did.
Morning steps over the old back fence, a soft gold mercy without pretense. Dust turns holy in a patient ray, and for the first time in a long, long time, the light decides to stay. I used to hold my breath for storms, build my walls in thunder forms, kept a code for every doubt, wore it in and never out. I learned to hold my noisy doors, sweep the anger off the floors, name the tools of men today, and leave the rest to walk away. Now coffee warms a gentler bone, silence feels like something grown. The window writes a softer way, the light knows me and it stays. Count to four with the ribs, not pride. Let breathe be the long, clean guide. If yesterday knocks, we'd allow to say, smile one step back, let daylight pray. Doesn't beg for proof. He climbs a slave of an ordinary roof, pours through the rooms I used to grade. No trumpet, no parade, just mercy without sway. I open both my hands and watch the light learn how to stay. I walk the block with a listener's gate, arriving early, leaving late. A neighbor's hinge confesses rust. We share a rag and trade in trust. Two kids chalk rings around the sun, argue colors, call it done. The mother laughs at working him. I hold the bag and breathe with them. I used to crown myself with flame, burn the evening just to name a victory no dawn could wait. Now light keeps score by staying. Breathe on four-let strings, lean low, let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns for a louder play, point it to bread and let it stray. Light learns to stay, it doesn't beg for proof. Climbs a slave of an ordinary roof, pours through the rooms I used to grade. No trumpet, no parade, just mercy without sway. I open both my hands and watch the light learn how to stay. There's a
desert bridges and winter vines. I send a few with kind ink. I keep a few so time can think. The mirror does a gentler job, leaves out the blade, keeps in the sob. I button patience, stitch and neat, wear it where my pulse can meet. The man I was is not a ghost. He sets the table, pours the toast. We eat our peace in common clay, the living proof the light can stay. Count to 4 till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If memory begs for a harsher day, I turn the lamp and let it pray. I learned to stay. It doesn't beg for proof. It climbs the slate of an ordinary roof. Pours through the rooms I used to grade. No trumpet, no parade, just mercy without sway. I open both my hands and watch the light learn how to stay. Bring me the locks I forced for show, I'll oil them now and let them go. Bring me the names I said too sharp, I'll speak them soft, teach night to heart. Bring me the miles I sprinted then, I'll walk them back with broader skin. Let's slide the tar band once, then rest. Let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory wants a neon sign, give it supper, salt and time. If power asks what it's for today, to keep the light and let it stay. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. A letter arrives with a thank you hand, about that gate you came to mend. I fold a note the quiet way, a small receipt for a brighter day. The mailbox hums a copper cord, the porch boards nod like they're restored. I sweep the dust, I spare the bees, I leave the clover for their ease. The sky puts silver on the lane, and even shadows lose their strain. They're only proof of what light says. I'm here, I'm warm, I'll stay. Hold that forward, let the snare lie low. Let the organ breathe and the strings say go. If glory taps with a borrowed plate, offer a chair, then fade a day. Light learns to stay. It doesn't beg for proof. It climbs the slate of an ordinary roof. Pours through the rooms I used to grade. No trumpet, no parade, just mercy without sway. I open both my hands and watch the light learn how to stay. I sit with dust like an old good friend, naming the ways we didn't bend, the doors we hold, the words we saved, the hours we gave to the unenslaved. I phone the man I used to fear. We trade our names and drop a year. No ledger speaks, no tally calls, just space enough for mercy's walls. And when I hang the gentle line, I feel the color turn from wine to wheat to bread to daily grace. The light keeps finding my face. The light learns to stay. It doesn't beg for proof. It climbs the slate of an ordinary roof. Pours through the rooms I used to crave, editing distant bills and craying hands I owed, I can't let pay. No crime or stage of rage is well and breathe other can make. A lot of woes, the anchor cry now. Till the cools were man to a man. That ain't no wrong to met him there. The wagon harder to the wind and God. The clock calls 12, the bottle breathes slow. A shadow moves moves where the lost men go. There's a silence deep enough to drown, and a voice inside saying, boy, don't turn around. The smoke curls like memory in a slow parade, each breath a story I never made. In the night she listens, but don't forget. I walk through smoke in a dozen lies, the kind that dance behind tired eyes. A letter half burned, a promise half kept. I drink with the ghosts I ain't buried yet. Every truth I held turned to sand, slipping through the cracks of my callous hand. The city hums a hymn of sin and flame, still midnight knows my name. The jukebox hums a forgotten tune, it bleeds through walls like a civil wound. And every note reminds me again how easy we fall, how slow we mend. I see faces in the whiskey glass, flickers of a time I let slip past. The sound of footsteps fades the same, but midnight still whispers my name. Ain't no preacher in this town tonight, only shadows that flicker under neon light. You can pray all day, but pain still stays. It learns your voice and calls your name. It lingers soft like perfume's ache, a love you couldn't fix, a heart you break. And when the world forgets your claim, midnight remembers just the same. So pour one for the man who won't be saved, for the fighter smiling at the empty grave. He laughs low with a taste of shame. Yeah, midnight knows my name. She hums my sins in a velvet tone. Each note cut deep into the bone. I ain't seeking glory, just a flame, 'cause midnight knows my name. Lipstick stains on a folded bill, a scent of danger that lingers still. Every memory costs the same, a little blood, a little blame. The bar light flickers like our eyes did once, gentle but sharp as a loaded gun. If love's a crime, I took the blame. Now midnight calls my name.
learned to breathe where hope had died. The curtains whisper where she used to stand, her ghost still warm in the palm of my hand. And though I left, I stayed the same. Midnight called my name. The man in the mirror don't blink no more. He's seen it all, the lies, the war. He just smirks and says, boy, you knew this world don't heal, it just tattoos you. The ink runs deep in veins of rust, turns every promise into dust. You keep your soul but lose the game, and midnight knows your name. I used to ride dreams on a torn receipt. Now they fade like the dust beneath my feet. She said love's a gun with a velvet aim. Now I carry her words like a scar and a flame. The wind outside plays a hollow chord, my silence louder than any word. The dark feels kind, the pain feels tame, 'cause midnight knows my name. Ain't no choir gonna call my tune, just the hum of the night and the lazy moon. No redemption, no acclaim, just the sound of midnight saying my name. It's a quiet storm, a low refrain, the kind of peace that comes.
The room leans close like it wants to learn. The bass ticks slow like a measured burn. The lights go low, the noise turns thin. I press my breath and settle in. My watch taps time against my palm. A quiet storm, the weight of calm. The night, she nods, she knows the song. A crown that rests in the weight of calm. I walk that line between steel and silk, where heat runs slow like warm milk. No need to shout, no fist to show. I let my presence set the flow. My shoes draw maps on oak and grain. The snare keeps time inside my veins. The city bows without alarm to the measured weight of calm. Cufflinks flash like lightning there, but thunder hides in how I stare. I lift the glass, the room complies. 1,000 doubts grow civilized. I choose my words like polished stones. I lay them down to build their throne. The floorboards home, a private song, a kingdom built on the weight of calm. Ain't no preacher, teacher, steady hand. You learn by losing what you plan. You trade the road for something deep, a pace that moves while others sleep. You let the fire dodge the bomb. You hold it close, you keep it warm. And when the storm expects your harm, you answer with the weight of calm. So pour one for the man who never rush, whose silence makes the loud ones hush. He laughs low, he won't disarm. He rules the night with the weight of calm. It hums like oak, it sways like steel, a patient force the proud can feel. I ain't begging fate or charm, I move the world with the weight of calm. The band sits back to let me breathe. The organ smoke threads through my sleeve. The guitar bends like tempered will, a single note that holds you still. The barmaid nods, she knows this tune. When measured men light up a room. No tempest here, no cheap alarm, just the quiet weight of calm. I learned to fold my anger neat, to iron rage with controlled heat, to close my fist around the wind, to say much less and still content. I count the beats the drummer highs, I read the eyes the crowd provides. Where others run, I simply song and win by weight of calm. The man in the mirror lifts his chin, says, boy, I see you learn to win. Not by blaze or sharpened tongue, but by the breath you hold in lung. No sword to wave, no flag to claim, just poise and patience in your name. He taps the glass, confirms the charm. You're crowned by weight of calm. She enters slow with silver eyes, a question hid in her disguise. She waits to see if I will chase. I let the stillness take her face. A tilt of glass, a glance of grace. No frantic moves, no crowded space. The bass grows warm, the doubts disarm. She understands the weight of calm. Pour one for the man who reads the tide, who makes the storm itself subside. He hums low, keeps that psalm. He crowns the room with the weight of calm. Raise your glass to iron grace, to silent heat and steady pace. No shout, no bluff, no bomb, just sovereign weight of calm. The groove pulls tight like tailored car. The tempo breathes a sacred oath. Each note holds back just half a breath. A dance with danger, not with death. I set the air in measured harm, a lullaby of a weight of calm. The room leans in, the doubts grow small. They fall beneath the weight of calm. I ain't holy, I ain't tame, I just refuse the frantic game. I bank my sparks in tempered steel. I spend them slow, so fake and kneel. I carry storms in quieter jars. I steer by scars instead of stars. When chaos begs for open palm, I close my hand with the weight of calm. Ain't no choir singing me through, just bass and breath and follow through. No trumpet blast, no gilded bomb, just heartbeat under weight of calm. The wise don't race, the strong don't swarm. They tune the night to their reform, and when the noise demands a song, I whisper back with the weight of calm. So pour one for the sovereign few, whose quiet tells the world what's true. He laughs slow, refuses harm. He moves the dark with a weight of calm. No throne, no flare, no gilded palm, just breath that turns a riot calm. And when I fade, remember balm. I wore the night with weight of calm. I've seen heat burn itself to slew, and Tywell jarred in his soul stew. Greg Wesley plays in duded palm, by chits as strongs they're sort of on. But I keep time with a pace of pine. I hold the flame, I hold the coals. The west of my breast, he knows the song. I measure weight of calm.
Street holds his breath like a locked safe door. Rain scrubs footprints off the floor. Neon forgets the names it spelled. Windows keep the secrets they were told to well. Boots land soft, heartbeat slow. I pass through the night like I already know. If justice came, it came without poise. No witness, no echo, no noise. I learned to move like a rumor behaves. There for a second, then nothing but waves. A hand on a knob, not a fist on a gate. I buy my time and I sell men fate. Knuckles stay clean in a city of chalk. I ride in steps, not in talk. Shadows salute when the orders need. Law arranged on a silent street. There's a science to mercy, a price to prove. A way to fix leaks in a weathered roof. You plan like rain, you hit like dust. Leave nothing but the sand of trust. No one sees the math I use, just exits opening where I choose. If thunder has to be employed, I send it home. No witness, no noise. Count to four with a borrowed breath. Fold your rage, let it rest. If truth must walk, let truth avoid the crowded steps of noise. No witness, no noise, just the law of the room. A slow-moving verdict that never blooms. If crowns need thunder to keep their poise, they were never crowns, just noise. I sign with a nod, erase with a choice. The city learns, no witness, no noise. A door swings once, the hinge says less. A coat collects the dust it bless. Two men argue on a sheet of glass. By morning the argument doesn't pass. Not death, not fire, just the end of a thread. A knot undone with fear once bled. I don't chase blood, I chase the source. Turn rivers by an inch of force. This isn't vengeance, it's maintenance paid. The difference between a cut and a blade. A saint would pray, a coward flees. I count to four and set men free. From the dead they earn, the lies they deploy. I cancel the volume, no witness, no noise. Breathe in, let the floorboards hold. Let brass keep quiet, the snare grow old. If guilt is heavy, I'll make it a poise. Balanced by absence of noise. No witness, no noise, just the law of the room. A slow-moving verdict that never blooms. If crowns need thunder to keep their poise, they were never crowns, just noise. I sign with a nod, erase with a choice. The city learns, no witness, no noise. She meets me under a sleeping sign. Eyes like a ledger crossing a line. Tell me she whispers with silence buys. Tomorrow I answer without alibis. She touches my sleeve like a lie I can't. Finds only patience finally web. I show her a map with streets turned thin. Paths have cleared for boys to begin. She says, does mercy leave a stain? I say not if you teach it rain. I don't stack bodies, I empty the room. I lay down outcomes that don't need a tune. When danger begs for a louder voice, I close the ledger. No witness, no noise. Hold the breath. aside, stand where the lesser kings divide. If power's real, it never employs the brittle crutch of noise. No witness, no noise, just the law of the room, a slow-moving verdict that never blooms. If crowns need thunder to keep their poise, they were never crowned, just noise. I sign with a nod, erase with a choice. The city learns, no witness, no noise. Bring me the locks that break without sound. Bring me the dead that never was found. Bring me the blade that cuts like air, leaves no tear and leaves no tear. Bring me the rumor with missing feet. Watch it fail to cross this street. If justice must sing, let it hum instead. A single note in a careful head. I turn the key where the night employs a simple rule: no witness, no noise. Walk, don't swear. Fix, don't flare. Count to 4. Close the door. Arrival's grin left fingerprints thin on the glass of a promise I kept within. I didn't answer with a televised noon. I moved the moon and let him swoon. Gave him a job that wore his pride. Let it shrink till truth could rise. Sometimes victory looks like less, a quieter street, a smaller mess. The city sleeps when the math is right. Crime gets tired of losing its sight. I never say done, I never rejoice. I breathe a just, no witness, no noise. Hush the brass, let the strings abstain. Hold the snare like a patient vein. If order needs a steady voice, it speaks as lack of noise. No.
The room wears gold like a second skin. The bass walks slow, invites me in. A hush like velvet, a heavy dance. I button my calm and sharpen sense. The lights drift low, the air runs thin. My shadow trims the noise within. In the night she grins, she loves this science. How power lives in brass and silence. Polished shoes on an open floor, a measured step through a mirror door. The band leans back to read my pace. I set the tone with breathing space. No need to claim, no need to plead. I let the stillness intercede. A single nod, a quiet license. I stitch the room with brass and silence. Cuffling blinks like a comet's tail. My gaze moves slow, my voice stays pale. The snare suggests, the kick agrees. The organ hums like trusted keys. I pour a truth I never say. Let gravity conduct the sway. Where others shout their weak reliance, I write my name in brass in silence. Stones announce their side.
and silence. So pour one for the kings who never shout, whose steady post dissolves the doubt. He laughs low, ignores the sirens. He rules by brass and honored silent. It hums like steel, it shines like wine, a sovereign glow without a sign. I ain't begging fate for guidance, I wear my crown in brass and silence. She enters with a comet's grace, a test of poise across her face. I tilt the glass, I hold the frame, I let the rhythm take her name. No chase, no grin, no eager dance, just orbit set by a tempered stance. She changes speed by my compliance. That's the art of brass and silence. I learned to fold the heat I feel, like linen smooth on tempered steel, to place each word like coins on scales, to let the hush outvote the tales. When pride arrives with guarded giants, I greet it with my brass and silence. I never buy the cheap alliance, I trade in golden quiet silence. The mirror tilts his head, says you talk less and speak instead. A measured breath can move a throne, a patient glance recarves a stone. No blade to wave, no stage defiance, just empire built of brass and silence. He taps the glass, confirms the science. Hold your crown with brass and silence. Murmur builds from jealous throats, a restless tide that swells and floats. The bass digs in, the snare grows tight, the room prepares to test my right. I raise my hand an inch at best, the noise folds back into its chest. The band resumes its calm alliance, obedient to brass and silence. The violence, he bends the night with brass and silence. Raise your glass to wine grace, to eyes that slow a crowded place. No roar, no shove, no malice, just sovereign brass and silence. The lights throw coins on every wall, the Hammond sighs a chapel call. A single bench suspends the room, a pause becomes a perfume plume. I trace the air with quiet science, a line of gold and silver silence. The groove drips warm, the noise relents, all debt is paid in confidence. I simply outgrew chaos game. I bank my fire in deeper jars, I steer by scars instead of stars. When tempers beg for my compliance, I answer true with brass and silence. A small refusal, clean and fine, a crown that needs no borderline. No choir sings a measured art, no trumpet crowns the patient heart. Proof is how the riot slows, how even lightning learns repose. You want the key to true reliance, distill your power, brass and silence. Let louder men chase cheap appliance. We meant the night with brass and silence. So pour one for the sovereign few, whose quiet tells the world what's true. The sirens, he holds the dark with brass and silence. No throne required, no gilded fence, just breathe and balanced eloquence. And when I fade, recall my science. I wore my crown in brass and silence.
he's smartest when it's under gold. And kids blown away, clothes so cold. I've seen breakneck dull in time, when timeless Zukunft Bewusstsein. But every breath intermess discounts 5 Hessen Potter's price. So I close my eyes, das mest of I'm it's all aligned with brass and silence. Door shuts off like a verdict done. Dusk glows gold where the lowlights run. No clock ticks, no breath too loud. Just breathing bass beneath the shroud. Whiskey hums rules no tongue can name, and silence wears a tailored frame. One nod, one glance, the whole room bends. Power begins where volume ends. Men chase thunder till they lose their feet. The quiet crowns never taste defeat. I build my throne with folded noise, train my hands to handle poise. Every sigh's a contract sign, every stare a boundary line. They speak in rush, I move in wait. Patience my slowest state. The map on the wall bleeds in shade. Every block a promise paid. I rule by pulse, by pace, by tune, by the rhythm of the silent room. Count to 4 before you speak. Let your breath dress iron sleep. Truth is a blade that hides its bloom. That's the first law of the silent room. These are the laws of the silent. No shout, no glare, no borrowed boom. Stillness cuts where anger fumes, and kings are crowned in the silence. Thunder's needed, sell it soon. Buy your peace from the hush of the room. Rule 1, don't trade time for pride. Keep patience sharp, wear it inside. Rule 2, forgive once, not twice. Mercy cheap is mercy's vice. Rule 3, never speak to fill the space. Let silence show your face. Rule 4, if rage must knock, feed it calm, change its clock. Rule 5, loyalty sings best unheard. One look replaces 1,000 words. She sat across, smoke in her hair, eyes like riddles that knew I'd stare. Tell me, boss, what buys your calm? Time. Time, I said, and a steady palm. Time. She smiled, a spark that begged for flame. I smiled back, but kept the aim. Do your laws forgive? She sighed. Once I said and never lied. Ash fell slow, verdict divine. Silence spoke, the word aligned.
laws of the silent room. No shout, no glare, no borrowed boom. Stillness cuts where anger fumes, and kings are crowned in the silent room. Bring me oaths that don't need sound. Bring me grace that walks unbound. Let brass eyes slow like a sinner's tune. Let the strings confess to the moon. If power must breathe, it should breathe light, cool and constant through the night. You don't win wars, you let them fade. That's how a dynasty's made. Patience counts coins no bank can weigh. Collects respect, the loud repay. Silence ain't empty, it's earned. Every pause is something learned. A boy once came with a lot of men. Voice too quick, knees that bend. Boss, he said, I talk too proud. I said, then learn to speak out loud. Only when your heart's in tune, else you pay with ruin soon. He nodded slow, his fear went thin, and left a man instead of sin. The woman smiled, glass half low. Your peace, she said, still bleeds control. I said, control's not cold, it's kind. It saves what chaos leaves behind. We shared the quiet like a prayer. Each sip a lesson, stripped and bare. Count to 4, don't break the chain. Let rhythm wash away the pain. If thunder's proud, then quiet's groom. Bow your head to the silent room. These are the laws of the silent room. No shout, no glare, no borrowed boom. Stillness cuts where anger fumes, and kings are crowned in the silent. If funds needed, sell it soon. Buy your peace from the hush of the room. Who rules the night with unseen tune? The man who breathes in the silence. Who bends fate without custom? The hand that goes.
The doors swing slow like they know my name. The bass walks steady, the night feels tame. A hush comes down like a velvet cloak. I light the match, raise the smoke. The room leans in with a silver grin. Power speaks softer than a violin. In the dark, she nods, she's seen this road. I wear my calm like a heavy coat. Move like thunder, you don't quite hear. A close-cut suit, a glass, no fear. I traded rage for a coat of flame. Let silence do the heavy game. My shoes say little, my eyes say more. I own the room without the roar. Every breath is a quiet stroke, a crown you only see in smoke. The mirror lights hum, the bottles gleam. The floor remembers where I've been.
out my coat in nights like this. No wasted word, no reckless kiss. The band plays low, the snare says wait. The clock keeps time with measured fate. I take my seat, the world takes note. A crown you only see in smoke. Ain't no preacher teaching this control. It's learned by losing what you stole. You trade your thunder for a pulse. You tame the beast, you kill the false. Let pride dissolve, let fear revoke. Wear patience like a tailored cloak. And when the noise begins to choke, you rise, a crown in smoke. So pour one for the men who rule the room, with quiet hands and eyes that bloom. He laughs low, no need to boast. He wears a crown the night can host. It hums like silk, it cuts like oak. A power born of calm and oath. I ain't begging fate or hope. I wear my crown in smoke. She walks on past with a sideways glance, a little test, a noble dance. I tip my glass, the message lands. I lead with silence, not my hands. No sudden moves, just measured grace. No chase required to win the race. Let others burn, let others choke. I hold my crown in smoke. I built my laws on steel and skin, on debts I paid and fights I didn't. No easy wins, no cheap applause, just bruised respect and final cause. I lose the rush, I keep the soul. I play the long, deliberate role. When tempers break and bargains croak, I breathe a crown in smoke. The man in the mirror lifts his brow, says, son, you finally learned it now. Power ain't loud, it's poison proof. It's how you stand beneath the roof. No grin required, no sharpened blade, just presence of the men obeyed. I nod once slow, the lesson spoke. A crown you only see in smoke. The band leans back, the bass grows warm. The snare keeps time like a heartbeat charm. A whisper passes, table to table. Respect untold, a living fable. No name announced, no banner flown, just gravity that I've outgrown. The air gets thick, the doubts go broke. They see my crown in smoke. Smoke. Raise your glass to the steel that's kind, to iron calm and disciplined mind. No roar, no shove, no cloak, just a quiet crown in smoke. Oh, the lights descend to amber gold, the groove grows while the pulse grows bold. Each note declares without a word the simplest law I ever heard. Own your breath, unlock the yoke, let patience wrap you up in smoke. And when the room leans close to choke, exhale. The crown in smoke. I ain't tame, I just refuse the frantic game.
I aim my fire, I ration heat, I leave the chaos at my feet. I earn my soul, I press my will, I move the night by standing still. And when the doubts rise up to joke, they drown beneath my smoke. Ain't no choir singing my name, just bass and breath and tempered flame. No trumpet blast, no drums that poke, just the hush that crowns the oak. The strong don't beg, the wise don't poke, they float their names on rings of smoke. And when the noise begins to choke, I smile, my crown is smoke. Oh, so pour one for the quiet kings who rule with calm, not sharper things. For the men whose word outweighs the cloak, who wear their crown in smoke. No throne, no bell, no gilded joke. D minor dawn on a window pane, kettle speaks low like a patient vein. Dust writes mercy where morning grew. I touch the sill, the light, the brew, and breathe it in like something new. When all that's left of me is quiet, all that remains is true. I kept a ledger etched in bone, names like rivers, debts like stone. I weighed my days on iron scales, told the night my storm-born tales. But metal rust and thunder tires, water beats the tallest spires. What's left behind when the brag is through? A chair, a lamp, a faithful screw, a hinge that sings a house to you. Not much to crown, just much to do. I learned to bless the small of you. When I am done with proving, all that remains is true. Count to 4 with ribs, not pride. Let breathe be the long, clear guide. If memory wants a brighter dew, pour a tea and let it cool. The truth is patient, simple blue. And all that remains is true.
No crown,
no stage, no debt to suit,
just bread
and light and work you do. A name that fits a soul that grew. The thunder falls, the day comes through.
I set my hands to honest you.
I am the quiet proof I knew. When all that remains is true. I hung the suit that wore my fear, watched the velvet disappear. Silk can't hold a bending heart, gold can't keep a home from part. I traded heat for humble flame, lost some glory, found a name. I fixed a gate, I fixed my pace, I left a seat at every place. The letters I never found, the time arrived in chores and cleaner lines. A widow smiled the way grief does, half assault and half a trust. The street said thanks, the hinges too. In oiled metal, truth came through. Breathe on forth, let strings lean low, let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns to argue blue, point to the door, it swings like new. And all that remains is true.
No crown,
no stage, no debt to suit,
just bread
and light and work you do. A name that fits a soul that grew. The
thunder falls, the day comes through.
I set my hands to honest you.
I am the quiet proof I knew when all that remains is true. I kept a drawer of unmailed lines, apologies stitched to winter vines. Some I sent, the rest I wore inside the coat that learned me more. The mirror edits what shame would sell, leaves the face that fits me well. Not a savior, not a saint, just a man who learned restraint. I count the rooms that made me new, the sink, the porch, the wooden pew of any chair that held me through. Forgiveness built in grain and glue, no witness needed, nothing due. I breathe, I live, and call it true. Hold that fort till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If thunder begs for one more cue, smile once kindly, you're almost through. And all that remains is true.
No crown,
No stage, no debt to sue.
just bread
And light and work you do, a name that fits a soul that grew. The thunder falls, the day comes through.
I set my hands to honest you.
I am the quiet proof I knew when all that remains is true. Bring me the locks I forced for show, I'll oil them now and let them go. Bring me the names I held too tight, I'll speak them soft and make them right. Bring me the miles I sprinted thin, I'll walk them back with broader skin. Let slide guitar bend once thin, rest, let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory wants a neon view, feed it supper salt and two. If power asks what it should do, make room at tables, keep love true. Say less, stand plain, count to four, remain. A child chalks planets on a walk, orbits held by patient talk. She names the small one second try, gives it time to learn the sky. Her mother laughs, the light agrees, folds a ribbon on the trees. Across the lane a neighbor calls, fences holding thanks to all. I wave and carry bread inside, let ordinary be my guide. The room receives my working shoes, floorboards hum their honest news. The house exhales a humble cue. When life is this, the world is true. Count to four with a longer trust, let brass breathe warm above the dust. If history asks what's due from you, answer chairs and time and true. And all that remains is true.
No crown,
No stage, no debt to sue.
just bread
And light and work you do, a name that fits a soul that grew. The thunder falls, the day comes through.
I set my hands to honest use.
I am the quiet proof I knew when all that remains is true.
When all that remains is true.
No crown,
No stage, no debt to sue.
right and a wide and work you do. Names is all we guess so that I
Tailors chalk like moonlight on cold. Tape around my ribs, measuring told. Silk takes breath, buttons take bone. Mirror keeps secrets I won't atone. Horn sighs low, piano rides ash. Bass counts debts I refuse to stash. I smile like a verdict stitched within. Step into evening in a suit made of sin. Lapel like a river where whispers swim. Cufflinks clink soft like a chapel hymn. I've pressed my past till the creases obey. Steamed out the tremor, taught out to stay. Every pocket holds a quiet law. Every seam knows a mercy saw. I don't wear thunder, I am the storm. Lay it to rest in a measured form. It's perfume in a hall that remembers a war. Footsteps that know what forgiveness is for. I walk through rooms that lean to hear. Watch courage slow dance with fear. This isn't gold, it's a tale of death. Threaded with names I won't forget. He fell against his armor, I'm armor thin. But the cut is perfect on a suit made of sin. Count to 4, keep breath inside. Hide the bruise where the pearls reside. If truth must show, let the lights go dim. I'll say it's softer in a suit made of sin. I wear my quiet like a crown that burns. Fit by the lessons no saint returns. If grace is a fabric that won't give in, I stitch my name in a suit made of sin. No thunder needed, no borrowed grin. I rule the room in a suit made of sin. When love wants proof and fate wants skin, I pay in silence with a suit made of sin. A tailor once told me, stand like you swear. I learned to vow with the weight I wear. Wool takes shape like a patient lie. Shape it too long and the truth runs dry. There's a woman whose eyes unbutton the night. She knows the zipper between wrong and right. She says, does that fabric forgive your hands? I say it forgives nothing, only understand. I've pocketed rage like a folded tie. Took it out seldom, let most go by. The city keeps track with a ledger of scenes. Invoices printed in unlit dreams. I sign with a nod, I pay with a glance. I dance with danger in a lawful stance. You think it's glamour, but look again. It's discipline draped in a suit made of sin. Count to 4, let the snare draw near. Teach your pulse to disappear. If sorrow asks where I've been, tell it, measure in a suit made of sin. I wear my quiet like a crown that burns. Fit by the lessons no saint returns. If grace is a fabric that won't give in, I stitch my name in a suit made of sin. No thunder needed, no borrowed grin. I rule the room in a suit made of sin. When love wants proof and fate wants skin, I pay in silence with a suit made of sin. My tailor's chalk trace the cost of pride, marked where the boy in me went to hide. Pinned the shoulders built from nights when I held back flames and turned off lights. Hem the memories to ankle length so I don't trip over borrowed strength. Pressed a crease into second chances so they fall sharp in slow romance. And there's a prayer something beneath the chest. For names I couldn't keep at rest. I carry their echoes like hidden thread. Pull too hard, it breaks instead. So I tug with care, I wear with grace. I let the stitch hold time and place. Virtue's velvet and vice's skin. I'm somewhere honest in a suit made of to 4, let the brass confess. Breathe through linen, admit the mess. When judgment knocks, don't let it in. Make it wait outside my suit made of sin. I wear my quiet like a crown that burns, fit by the lessons no saint returns. If grace is a fabric that won't give in, I stitch my name in a suit made of sin. No thunder needed, no borrowed grin. I rule the room in a suit made of sin. When love wants proof and fate wants skin, I pay in silence with a suit made of sin. Bring me the boat I couldn't afford, cloth of regret that the past has stored. Bring me the thimble that saved my hands when rage tore holes in gentler plans. Bring me the needle that mends with time, threaded with mercy, stitch it in rhyme. If power's a pattern cut on bone, let tailors of patience mark it alone. I'll base my fury in unpicked pain, press it flat with a midnight rain. And if the fit asks blood to win, I'll bleed discreetly through a suit made of sin. No applause, no brighter gin, just breath and cloth and the man within. I wear my quiet like a crown of I wear my quiet like a crown that burns, fit by the lessons no saint returns. If grace is a fabric that won't give in, I stitch my name in a suit made of sin. No thunder needed, no borrowed grin. I rule the room in a suit made of sin. When love wants proof and fate wants skin, I pay in silence with a suit made of sin. Write it in brass, write it on skin. My keeping on a suit made of sin. If truth must show, they'll laugh at them. I'll stand like up in a suit.
Streetlight flickers like a tie-dye. Wind files papers in the midnight sky. One step, two step, echoes keep score. My shadow walks ahead to check the door. No throne tonight, no jewelry to tame. Just me and a road that remembers my name. I learned to travel with a smaller flame, to warm my hands without calling fame. Pocket the thunder, lease the rain. Spend my silence like I'm buying pain. The buildings nod the way old men do. They know the years and the rent come due. I don't ask mercy to change his mind. I just walk straighter and pay on time. There's truth that only the pavement tells, in the seams of the city where patience dwells. My heartbeat counts like a warm bass drum, 4 to the soul till the fears go numb. I don't need choir, I don't need crown. I polish my footsteps and put them down. Count to 4 with the ribs, not the tongue. Let the breath hold steady where the song began young. If the night wants secret, let the night refrain. The road already knows my name. The road remembers my name. Every mile, every vow I couldn't explain. It holds goes my way without complaint, turns my rage to a thinner paint. I walk without banners of blame, and still the road remembers my name. I used to measure worth by noise, by how fast men turned into boys. Now I measure by what I spare. Who gets to keep the little share? The river under bridges hums a hymn for late and lonesome ones. It sings of bargains I didn't take, of a softer hand I learned to make. No entourage, no last demand, just a pocket watch and a steady hand. I keep the hour like a borrowed tune, let patience gather like a later moon. If history knocks with a bleeding fist, I open the window and let out the mist. Breathe on the floor, let the snare brush slow, let the string pad bloom, and then let go. If pride asks loud to be renamed, tell it the road remembers my name. The road remembers my name. Every scar I turned into aim, doesn't praise, it doesn't blame. It just holds stride when the world plays games. I give the night my simplest claim. I'm here, I'm whole, and the road knows my name. There's a diner with a stubborn light, a bell that rings like it forgives the night. The waitress pours mercy in a chipped blue cup, says you look like someone who keeps getting up. I laugh the way a quiet man laughs, short and true with the edges had. I tip the jar for the prayers she keeps, for the janitor's gospel and the cook who weeps. We don't trade testimonies, we trade the air. A little more honest, a little less glare, then back to the sidewalks on his frame. It nods again, it knows my name. Hold that fork, let the piano blink, one note hanging on the edge of think. If memory begs me to play his game, I'll wave and walk. The road knows my name. The road remembers my name. The road remembers my name. When love was a fever and I learned to abstain, when anger was copper on a lightning chain, when losses were teachers I had to entertain. I didn't win, I learned to remain. That's enough. The road remembers my name. Bring me the miles I wore too fast, bring me the hours that chose to last, bring me the letters I never sent, the anger I folded till it went. Let the guitar bend where the breath won't go, let the bass say yes when the doubts say no. If purpose is simple, it sounds like this: a footstep that doesn't need applause to exist. Walk, breathe, count to 4. Leave what you can't retrieve. I pass a church with a crooked sign, it whispers grace to the unaligned. I don't go in, but I understand. Some doors you wanna buy, staying a man across
the street, a pawn shop sleeps, dreaming of rings in the hands they keep. I used to trade tomorrow for a sharper crown. Now I trade perfection for laying it down. There's a evening irons gold on a roasting seam. Wind falls quiet like a bedtime dream. Gravel counts soft under shoes and no piano of birds playing low, low, low. I don't hurry, there's nothing to flee. The last light falls in step with me. I learned my name in stranger tongues, paid old debts with quieter lungs, turned down parades that stain the street, chose work that leaves a kind of heat. I bargained once with the thunder's feet, now I tip the dusk with simplicity. The city behind me lowers its hands, lets go the noise, keeps honest plans. I used to brand my mercy loud, now it walks through an ordinary crowd. No witnesses, no stage to see, just breathe in the last light next to me. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let the breath be the long, clean guide. If memory calls for a brighter plea, answer with footsteps, small and free. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no mask to hold my face. I'm done with loud approving, I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly, the last light walks with me. Fences lean in like elderly friends, trading the weather, predicting ends. A child chalks planets on the lane, spins a ring around a name. Her mother lifts a grocery bag, I catch the strap before it sags. No sermon there, no debts to weigh, just hip and hand in human day. Across the field a dog recalls, a whistle stitched in evening calls. He trots back home uncomplicated, proof that peace can be translated. I thank the years for letting me see how small acts wide and what will be. Breathe on full while the slide notes lean, let the bass say home, soft and clean. If pride returns with a megaphone plea, turn the volume down to see. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no mask to hold my face. I'm done with loud approving, I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly, the last light walks with me. There's a bridge of iron over patient stream, a mirror where I loan my dream. I drop 2 coins, one for grief, one for relief, the top belief. Circles wide and then forget, forgiveness keeps the water wet. I read my face the way we should, enough to know not to be understood. I am my work, the doors I oil, the weeds I pull from common soil. If legacy asks for a brighter key, I hand it hinges that swing quietly. Count to 4, let the strings inhale, let the trumpet glow like a faithful trail. If yesterday begs for authority, offer a chair, then let it be.
The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no mask to hold my face. I'm done with loud approving, I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly, the last light walks with me. Bring me the locks I forced for show, I'll lower them now and let them go. Bring me the names I said too hard, I'll speak them soft in a clean backyard. Bring me the steps I marched in vain, I'll walk them home in evening rain. Let slide guitar bend once and rest, let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory asks for a neon flame, point it to subred, add a name. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. Mailbox yawns like a sleepy friend, holds a bill, a note, and the working end. The note says thanks in a sprawling hand for fixing a hinge they couldn't stand. I smile the way a quiet man smiles, folds the paper in quarter miles. There's wealth in chores that no one sees, floors that welcome, roofs that ease. I sweep the walk of a neighbor's place, leave my name off, leave only space. I've learned to earn with gentler tools, humble metals, softer rules. The last light nods in warm decree, you've done enough, come home with me. Breathe on 4, let the lamppost bloom, let evening tidy the living room. If rumor looks for the old marquee, point it to dishes, tea and free. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no mask to hold my face. I'm done with loud approving, I keep what I can be. Dusk comes low and kindly, the last light walks with me. The last light walks beside me, long shadows keeping pace. No crown required to guide me, no mask to hold my face. I'm done with loud approving, I keep what I can be. Write it in dusk where fields agree, I live my peace where the last light walks with me. If someone asks what power means, I'll show them bread, and in between a chair, a lamp, a lowered
velvet on the barrel, lipstick on the rim. Glass makes a halo where the lower lights dim. Laughter in the doorway fades like a bribe. A hush signs papers that a shout can't write. I don't hurry destiny, I make it arrive. Slow as a serpent that knows it's alive. Snap of a match, river of smoke. Every oath in the room remembers how I spoke. If temptation is a weapon, I call it mine. Honey on the edge with an iron spine. She stepped like a verdict, gold at her throat. A comma in the sentence only kings can quote. I said danger, mouth said prove. Hip like a metronome telling the groove. She drew a heart in the fog of my glass, then smudged it clean with the back of her laugh. Baby, she said, what buys your calm? Time, I said, and the feel of my palm. I count by silences, tax them like rain, stack them like bills in a patient man's brain. The piano confessed in D minor sighs, while the horn bargained daylight from night's disguise. She touched the cufflinks, silver and cold, found her reflection in the story I told. Don't reach reach for my pulse if you don't know the deal. I'm soft to the touch, but the softness is steel. Her smile drew blood without leaving a mark. I signed with a nod and she lit the dark. If desire is a ledger, here's a figure. Every sweet nothing is a velvet trigger. Breathe slow, let the room lean in. Sugar on a tongue, gun under the grin. Call it love, call it ransom, call it art. Every gentle touch is a blade with a heart. I keep my thunder hidden in a velvet case. Let temptation talk while I save my face. If the night wants proof, I'll pour it down bigger. Pulling fate with one finger on a velvet trigger. No rush, no roar, just a sovereign sway. A kiss like a contract that won't decay. If power needs sugar to make man shiver, I sweeten the barrel of the velvet trigger. Backroom choir hums through the vents. Brass like incense, sins like sense. The dealer blinked twice, the waiter looked away. Somewhere a rumor forgot what to say. She traced the map of the scars I don't show. Named every street by the secrets I know. Where does it hurt? She asked with a grin. In the places I win, I said and win again. A perfume wrote scripture on the leather banquet. A gospel of wages I don't regret. I've learned to forgive what I never allowed. I've learned to be quiet when quiet is loud. She put her hand where a holster might be. Found only patience and keys to the sea. Is it love or a lesson? She breathed near my ear. It's whatever survives after smoke and fear. The band bent notes till the ceiling curved. In time like a valet waited and served. If mercy is a currency, I'm a careful giver. I tip the night with my velvet trigger. I learned restraint from a loaded dawn. From a door I could open but chose to yawn. From a rival who guessed and a friend who knew that patience is cheaper than cleaning the room. The city keeps secrets in the teeth of the rain and writes their initials on subway stains. She asked for a truth I never recite, so I gave her a silence tuned just right. Promise me something you can't rescind. Alright, I said, I won't pretend. If a crown must weigh, I'll let it weigh. If a love must cost, I'll gladly pay. Her laugh walked barefoot across my nerves. Balanced her blade on the curve that curves. Steady now, let the strings draw near. Make the bass confess what the brave won't hear. Paint the silence black, edge it in silver. Kiss like a verdict from a velvet trigger. I keep my thunder hidden in a velvet case. Let temptation talk while I save my face. If the night wants proof, I pour it down bigger. Pulling fate with one finger on a velvet trigger. No rush, no roar, just a sovereign sway. A kiss like a contract that won't decay. If power needs sugar to make men shiver, I sweeten the barrel of velvet trigger. Breathe through the fuse, don't rush the fire. Let restraint be the choir's choir. When the night leans in like a careful giver, sign with a kiss from the velvet trigger. I keep my thunder hidden in a velvet case. Let temptation talk while I save my face. If the night wants proof, I pour it down bigger. Pulling fate with one finger on the velvet. No rush, no roar, just a sovereign sway. A kiss like a contract that won't decay. Power needs sugar to make man shiver. I sweeten the barrel of the velvet trigger. Velvet trigger. Velvet trigger. Velvet trigger. Velvet trigger. Lights thin out till they're barely a thread. The door takes a bow like it's paying its debt. I leave 2 bills and a promise to deliver. The manos kono to match quite lover.
Had the same buddy is hung on plans till he had no put up, he just posed up. My velvet trigger. Oh, dawn loosens the knot on the eastern seam. Mist folds slow like a patient dream. Gravel breathes under honest shoes. Water speaks in quiet news. I touch the rail of a weathered shore. The river moves, but it don't rush anymore. I used to chase what the thunder sold, trade young fire for borrowed gold. Ran with a clock clenched in my jaw, bit down on seconds till I cracked the law. Every bridge was a dead run, every street a loaded gun. Now I count by softer signs, bird prints stitched in muddy lines. Steam from a mug that forgives the cold, stories that learn to age, not fold. I wear a coat with fewer wars, let wind edit what time ignores. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let the breath be the calmer guide. If yesterday bangs like a locked old door, let water answer, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore. It carries, it keeps, it sets ashore. It turns sharp stones to a kind of form, teaches a spine how to weather a storm. I lift my hands and I ask no more. I walk beside what I begged before. Call it mercy, call it Lord. The river doesn't rush anymore. I've seen men drown in a thimble of need, argue with blessings, sprint past the seed. I've watched loud hearts hire a crowd to clap for the break, and they wore like a shroud. I've bargained with rage and I've rented regret, paid too much for a faster bet. But patience rides, smaller checks that clear at dawn without side effects. A heron stands like a seasoned judge, feeding rumor, mine won't budge. He blinks the noise off both his eyes, signs the minutes and lets them rise. Breathe on 4, let the snare stay faint. Leave the drum for the softer saint. If pride comes limping to settle a score, let the river say, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore. It carries, it keeps, it sets ashore. It rounds the edges, the city wall, returns the name to a truer core. I give my hurry to the water's floor. It dissolves like salt I can't restore. Call it wisdom earned in pause. The river doesn't rush anymore. Oh, there's a road that taught me how to bow without losing bow, to stand like fence post, hold a field, firm below and warm to yield. I used to think that peace was weak,
till silence answered when I'd speak, till mercy held my shaking hand, till rest rewrote my business plan. Now when a rumor lifts its blade, I change the light, not the parade. The younger me would press and roar, the older me opens one more door. Bring me the miles I tried to sprint, the letters I sealed but never sent. Bring me the locks I broke for show, I'll oil the hinges and learn them slow. Let the guitar bend like willow bone, let the bass say stay, be stone. If time is water and I'm the shore, let love erode what hurt was for. Say less, hold more, count to 4, let it pour. A kid throws sticks where the eddy spin, watches each choice decide its end. Some sink quick, some turn and glide, some find the far bank's patient side. His mother laughs at a stubborn twig, says even the small learn how to dig. I taste the memory on my tongue, the first time failure kept me young. When I stopped forcing every bend, let a smaller victory be my friend. When later wasn't loss or chore, just ripples moving toward the shore. Count to 4 till the fear grows bored. Let quiet be the last strong word. If lightning brags like it owns the floor, I show it water, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore. It carries, it keeps, it sets ashore. It rounds the names we used to score, turn sharp to round from push to pour. I give the wheel what water's for, the mood and bait to memory score. Like it a river, we it war. The river doesn't rush anymore. Say less, hold more, count to 4, let it pour. A kid throws sticks where the eddy spin, watches each choice decide its end. Some sink quick, some turn and glide, some find the far bank's patient side. His mother laughs at a stubborn twig, says even the small learn how to dig. I taste a memory on my tongue, the first time failure kept me young. When I stopped forcing every bend, let a smaller victory be my friend. When later wasn't lost or chore, just ripples moving toward the shore. Lean close, hear pebbles vote with tiny clicks, hear old mistakes dissolve to silt, hear promises turn into bricks, for bridges mercy meant to build. Lean closer if law still rings like iron ore, teach it water, not anymore. The river doesn't rush anymore.
The clock sighs slow, the ashtray's full. Another promise I couldn't pull. The night leans close, she hums my crime, says you can't buy back what you sold with time. The smoke moves soft, the memory stings. You can't outrun what your heart still brings. In the dark, she grinned, she always knew. I shook hands with fate on a crooked line, traded peace for a bottle and rhyme. Said I'd quit when the fever broke, but the devil smiled through the rising smoke. Each sin I signed with borrowed breath, each dream I sold to pay my debt. And though I ran till my boots wore through, the devil don't take iOS. The road runs long, but the end's the same. Every turn just spells my name. I left the church, I left the rain, but both keep calling me back again. I tried to pray, but my tongue won't move. God went silent, he's got nothing to prove. Though I crawl to start anew, the devil don't take IOUs. No preacher preaches for the lost like me. No man forgives what the dark can see. You can wash your hands, but the stain won't fade. You can beg for light, but the price is paid. Mercy waits, but not for long. The blues keeps time when you go wrong. Every verse I sing rings true. The devil don't take IOUs. So pour one for the man who tried to change, who walked back home but found it strange. He laughed slow cause he already knew the devil don't take IOUs. He hums my name in a broken chord, every line a quiet sword. I ain't seeking grace, just proof that the devil don't take IOUs. The moon's too bright, it sees too much. I keep my lies where I can't be touched. The mirror weeps, the glass won't lie. I see the man I used to deny. Each night I trade my soul for sleep, but even dreams got debts to keep. I can't undo what sin once drew. The devil don't take IOUs. I met her once at the edge of rain. Her eyes like peace, her touch like pain. She said, "You're close," I said, "Too late," and walked her home past heaven's gate. She kissed my cheek, I felt the flame, heard laughter whisper in my name, and in her breath the truth shone through. The devil don't take IOUs. The man in the mirror grins and rests. Says, "Son, you're mine till the light is dead." He's sharp and calm, no hate, no glee, just a man who looks a lot like me. He don't shout, he don't accuse, he just smiles soft. I got nothing to lose, and when I blink, the mirror's true. The devil don't take IOUs. I played my sins in minor key, and each note burned a piece of me. They called it soul, I called it pay, for all the hearts I threw away. I lit my pain on bourbon fire, watched forgiveness drifting tired. Every song just cuts me through. The devil don't take IOUs. Pour one for the man who don't belong, who fights his demons all night long. He still sings low, he still bleeds true. Yeah, the devil don't take IOUs. Raise your glass to the ones who learn that every sin still makes you burn. No crown, no halo, just the blues, cause the devil don't take IOUs. The smoke hangs thick, the lights go dim. The bottle's hymn becomes my hymn. Each bend I play, each sigh, each tear brings the echo of what brought me here. You can run, but the dark breaks through. You can kneel, but it laughs at you. And in that silence, cold and true, the devil don't take IOUs. seen things I wish unseen. I made peace with what I am, a fallen man who gave a damn. My sins still hum in the quiet room, like flowers laid on an early tomb. And though the night feels old, it's new. The devil don't take, I owe you. Ain't no choir to sing me through, just a hum of sin I can't undo. No redemption left to choose. The devil don't take, I owe you. He don't judge, he don't defend, he just waits where roads don't end. I fade, I break, I face what's due. The devil don't take, I owe you. So pour one for the ones who tried to outwalk fate and still survive. For the men don't know this with us, so yeah, the devil don't take, I gon' lose no mind, no taste, no it's true. Just smoking, stuff, decaying too. Living from the fallen to the devil don't take, I owe you. I see saints fighting sin stained, Jewish or salted by the lens. I seen around better than mystery, and I want that mercy, want to ye. So I'm ever amazed, pretty poor, past the shadow, it's a crystal.
Got the hums of him on the east. Window rides rivers down the leaves. Roof keeps time with a fingertip drum. Lightning signs quiet, thunder stays numb. Key in the lock like a whisper refrain. Welcome home to a house made of rain. I didn't build this place out of brick or bone. Didn't stack proof just to call it my own. I gathered what fell from a restless sky, the salt of losses, the tears I denied. I learned the angles water prefers, how grief turns gentle when nobody stirs. I framed the rooms with slowed down breath, mortared the corners with patience and rest. No nails of pride, no doors that shout, just hinges of mercy that open out. I swept the noise from yesterday's veins and laid these floors with a hush that remains. Count to four with the rafters bend, let the drip find rhythm and call it a friend. If memory knocks with a suitcase of blame, show it the same, let the rainfall explain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. No fire to prove, no crowd to entertain, just me and the hymn of a house made of rain. Kitchen light flickers like a faithful nurse, measuring pulse in the coffee's verse. The kettle exhales what the night held tight. Let's old names soften and learn to be light. I shelve the thunder beside the door, labeled it only if peace asks for more. My coat hangs wet with an honest past, it drips in a bucket, I empty it last. There's a chair that forgives the weight I bring, a towel that crowns me with nothing like king. This roof doesn't keep the storms away, it teaches me how to stay. Breathe on forward till the bass says stay. Let the snare brush puddles into play. If pride arrives with a loud acclaim, turn down the lamp, let the rain know your name. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floor floors of weather, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. I bless what broke and what remained, building a room in a house made of rain. The bedroom window holds a silver sheet, city's heartbeat softened and sweet. I count the breaths I used to spend on doors that jammed and wars to defend. But water rewrites the story I kept, turns razors to rivers where swords once slept. It polishes shame like a blackened toy, till face and purpose rejoin. I keep a ledger for gentler dues, debits of anger, credits of truce. Balance returns like an evening train, arriving on tracks made of rain. Hold your count, let the strings lean low, let piano drip notes you already know. If guilt demands an iron chain, rinse it to rust in the mouth of rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. No witness needing no domain, built, breathe and breathe in a house made of rain. Bring me the words I spoke too fast, I'll soak them soft till the edges pass. Bring me the locks I forced for proof, rain will repair the honest roof. Bring me the letters I never sent, we'll float them down the basement then. Let the guitar bend like a bowed down spine, let trumpet glow like a street lamp sign. If mercy is water, then I'm the clay. Save me slow, wash one river. Say let's hold true, count four, come through. Hallway mirror fogs with a second chance, finger draw circles where I used to glance. The man in the glass looks old ashore, but kind in the lines where storms mature. I thank the leaks that taught me pails, like the temporary roofs that became my tales. I learned that shelter isn't dry, it's where your worry comes to lie, where grief is a guest with a decent bed, and blame is a coat you learn to shed, where love is a mop, not a closing door, cleaning the footprints you adore. 4 beats soft like a cotton hem, let the past get quiet at the brim. If rage returns to stake its claim, it leaves in silence, washed by rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in the hush of a house made of rain. I mend, I breathe, I lose the strain, and sleep like thunder after rain, after rain. In a house made of rain, I'm clean again. Walls of weather, floors of wind, roof of forgiveness, beams of refrain. I'm home in a hush of a house made of rain. Write it in water, let doubt complain. It has no proof where the rain remains. If someone asks how I lost the chain, I answer, I learned to live in a house made of rain. Drip slow down to a monk-like clock, D minor breath and the windows lock. I killed a lame bill, two chords played, oh hearts made of red then. In a house made of rain. Morning rose, open on a kitchen tile. Steam writes mercy in a cursive smile. I count my breath like coins I sign. When the battles are over, there's nothing left but kind. I kept a ledger made of iron and ash, roll out totals in a soldier sash. I measure men by the weight they threw, built taller walls than truth could chew. But doors don't sing for a fist that pounds. They learn their hands that spare their sounds. I traded thunder for a humbler grind, and found the only wealth I keep is kind. Now small tool weight where anger stood, a cloth, some oil, a plan for good, a quiet bench, a cherry line. What power remains is the power to be kind. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let breath be the long, clear guide. If memory knocks with a sharpened mind, set down the blade, pick up the kind. There's nothing left but kind. When all the gold goes dim, when neon quits its grind, and brass forgets to hymn, no louder crown to find, no sharper law to sign. When life is finally on the line, there's nothing left but kind. I pass a stoop with a lopsided rail, 2 screws shy of a safer tale. A neighbor shrugs, I meant to fix. We trade a laugh for a nail, 6 ticks. No sermon there, no proof to stay, just borrowed time from a quieter age. He says, you saved me. I shake my head. You'll do the same for someone's bread. We write a treaty with a level line, tight grain joint, the edges fine. The street learns patience intertwined with smaller words that chooses kind. Breathe on forward, let strings lean low, let piano leave space where meanings grow. If pride returns, politely blind, open the window, calling kind. There's nothing left but kind. When all the gold goes dim, when neon quits its grind, and brass forgets to hymn, no louder crown to find, no sharper law to sign. When life is finally on the line, there's nothing left but kind. I wore a suit that made rooms bow, silk like thunder on a clever brow. It held my fears with polished pins, looked like power, felt like sins. I hung it up where ghosts undress, watched it wilt into something less. Denim and linen, learned my spine, taught my shoulders a gentler line. What good is iron without a door? What good is more when you need restore? I stitch my name in a softer bind, a coat that fits the weather of kind. Count to 4 till the heart stands sure. Let quiet be strong and good be pure. If yesterday asked for a stricter fine, offer your hands and call it kind. There's nothing left but kind. When all the gold goes dim, when neon quits its grind, and brass forgets to hymn, no louder crown to find, no sharper law to sign. When life is finally on the line, there's nothing left but kind. Bring me the likes I force for show, I'll oil them now and let them go. Bring me the names I said too hard, I'll speak them soft in the backyard. Bring me the miles I sprinted thin, I'll walk them back with broader skin. Let's slide guitar band once then rest, let bass keep time inside the chest. If victory begs for a neon shrine,
feed it bread and water it kind. Say less, stand plain, count to 4, remain. A letter waits with the quiet things, about the hinge by the garden planks. I folded twice the simple way, a receipt for time. I chose to stay down at the corner, a widow stares at groceries tall as a public cares. We split the weight across 2 streets, neither hero, just human feats. No choir called, no coin was signed. We reached the door, the rest was kind. She touched my wrist, said, bless your mind. I answered yours, we're both aligned. Hold that fold, let the rim click, pray, let mercy sign the day. If thunder knocks with a blazing mind, show it the same. We're in sync kind, there's nothing left but kind. When all the gold goes dim, when neon quits its grind, and brass forgets to hymn. No louder crown to find, no sharper law to sign. When life is finally underlined, there's nothing left but kind. I open a drawer of unmailed lines, apologies stitched to winter vines. Some I send with a steady pen, some I keep for the kitchen's amen. A boy drops coins in a dented jar, saves for a bite like a private star. I add a bill in a folded slide, don't sign my name, let luck decide. He looks my way and doesn't know. That's the point of certain glow. The brightest lights are undesigned, they warm the room and leave it kind. There's nothing left but kind. When all the gold goes dim, when neon quits its grind, and brass forgets to him, and bright it is dim on the windows line. The church it advocates to him. How don't it find it a steady sign? When life is finally underlined, there's shooters crying, I'll never fail. Mailbox creaks like an altar hinge, dawn writes silver on the garden fringe. Boots on gravel, count to 4, breath comes easy like a settled score. I touch the gate and let it remain. There's quiet living under my name. I spent years teaching thunder to kneel, forged my calm into working steel, signed a city with a smaller pen, paid old debts and paid again. I don't need statues or a louder street, I build my echo where strangers meet, and doors held open and burdens split, in choosing repair when rage would fit. A man can vanish and still be true. I stitch my shadow to what I do, let noise go hunt for a brighter flame. I'll keep the silence under my name. Count to 4 with the ribs, not pride. Let the breath be the longer guide. If history shouts like a borrowed claim, answer with hush beneath your name. There's a silence under my name, not empty, not afraid of blame. It holds my weight like a wooden frame. It knows my work and says the same. No trumpets needed, no crowded fame. I live in the silence under my name. I've seen loud crowns rust on cue. Gold turned green by the things they do. I've watched bright parades forget the street, leave nothing but paper and hollow feet. The widow next door waters her fern, hums a hymn that refuses to burn. I fix her gate and I don't charge time. We trade two nods, both are worth a dime. Across the way a kid learns breaks, counts his courage on smaller stakes. I cheer by not becoming stage. Let room be room for a younger age. If legacy's breath and not a flame, let it be the silence under my name. Breathe on forward till the bass says stay. Let the snare brush sweep delay. If pride returns with a painted claim, let stillness sign beneath your name. There's a silence under my name, not empty, not afraid of blame. It holds my weight like a wooden frame. It knows my work and says the same. No trumpets needed, no crowded fame. I live in the silence under my name. I keep a drawer of unmailed lines, letters to bridges and fault lines. Thank yous I owe to forgotten rain, apologies folded without a stain. Some I'll send and some I'll sow in gardens only the patient know. I prune my anger like winter vines, leave what fruits, cut back the signs. There's a mercy in tasks that don't get seen, a hinge that won't squeal, a floor kept clean. You won't applaud it, you'll simply trust. It's how I learned to polish dust. When heaven audits the quiet game, it checks the silence under my name. Hold that four, let the strings lean low. Let piano say what words won't show. If yesterday begs to be the frame, hang it on silence, sign your name. There's a silence under my name, not empty, not afraid of blame. It keeps the roof through wind and rain. It turns sharp loss into useful grain. No victory speech, no point in flame. Just work and breathe beneath my name. Bring me the lights I turned down low, so others could stand in a kind of glow. Bring me the times I walked away and left room open for their say. Bring me the locks I learned oil, the tempers cooled by patient toil. If legacy's true, it's not a crown. It's chest set close when the tires sit down. Let guitar bend like a vow kept plain. Let trumpet rest like a forgiven pain. If I'm remembered, let it remain as the space I made, and not my name. Say less, hold fast, count four, let pass. I walk past the shop with a humble glass, where watch hands learn how minutes pass. The owner nods in that language of few, everything working, working and true. A bus exhales, a school bell sings, the morning ties its ordinary strings. This is the choir I choose to lead, by keeping time for simpler need. A rumor tries to borrow my face, I give it no stage, I give it no place. Peace requires a quiet spine, a yes that's small, a faithful line. Write it in sawdust, stinking rain. I hold the silence under my name. Count to four with a softer hand,
Let the beat arrive like land. If glory knocks in a borrowed frame, offer tea, then keep your name. There's a silence under my name, not empty, not afraid of blame. It keeps the tools that build my aim. It stores the grain when fields go lame. No bright parade, no gilded claim. I live in the silence under my name. There's a silence under my name, not empty, not afraid of blame. It cradles love without a frame. It guards